Unnerving footage shown here from Boston's Dynamics, showing robot dogs pulling a truck, and here's the footage. Man, look at that. It's weird that those things are not alive. They're just like metal, moving, electronic beings. Have you been paying attention to the stories in your local newspaper lately? No? Well, that's okay, it doesn't matter, because the stories in this series are not stories that you're really gonna find on the internet. Wait, no, they are found on the internet. What I'm trying to say is these stories are not really, you're not gonna see these in your local newspaper, okay? That was the point I'm trying to make. So welcome back to another episode of the series that is yet to be named. I haven't published the first episode, so if you guys left suggestions that I liked, well, I guess we'll find out in the next episode. But for now, I have more stories that I wanna share with you, and guys, this is the series where we take a look at really weird, bizarre, and strange stories that are happening recently. I'd like to also say these are recent stories that have happened right now in the world. So without any further ado, let's just dive right into these stories. Okay, I was really aggressive. I'm sorry. I had a lot of caffeine. Caffeine makes me a little energetic. Okay, so the first story we've got here, I love this. Man accidentally swallows AirPod, still works after pooping it out. What's worse than losing your AirPods? Finding one inside your belly. A man named, Sue went through the unusual experience when he went to sleep and somehow his right AirPod slipped all the way into his mouth and down into his stomach. Wow, you know, not that I own a pair of these myself, but it's nice to know these things. If you did accidentally swallow an AirPod and didn't choke on it, that you'll be fine and you can wear them after. I mean, who doesn't hate that, right? Like, can you imagine working at Best Buy and this question's brought up and the person has to say, well, it would work still. It really would. Like that, you know, is that a selling point for some people? Perhaps. But I'm just gonna move on, okay? Because this is kind of gross. Do we got any alien fans out there? Any people that believe in aliens that are perhaps roaming around our planet? Well, I've got some really freaky news to share with you because this just came in today, actually. UFOs invading military airspace multiple times per month, but public won't be told more. And there's a video here, and I want you guys to watch it. So it's about 46 seconds. We'll just show a couple of seconds, but it's pretty weird.
There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. My gosh. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west. Look at that thing, dude. That's not our LNS though, is it? It's not. That is the LNS, dude. Well, if there's like that thing, it's rotating.
Can you imagine being the person in the air, seeing all this and just reporting it back and trying your best not to sound insane? Like man, if that's real, the end times are coming. But, you know, if we're gonna be really honest here and get a little conspiracy, I really believe in the zoo. Is it the zoo theory or zoo hypothesis? Essentially, it's the belief that aliens are already roaming our planet, but keeping a distance. They're kind of treating Earth and, you know, the living creatures on Earth like animals at a zoo, and they're just kind of like stopping by and they're just like watching us do our thing, you know? Kind of like when you go to a zoo to watch animals, aliens are coming to Earth to watch humans. So, I don't know, this kind of supports that, but I'd like to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think? Do you think aliens are roaming around and just watching us? Let me know. Now, believe it or not, this next story isn't a crazy story coming straight out of Florida. Alligator caught on video attempting to ring doorbell of South Carolina home. Let's take a look at the video.
Welcome home event. A woman who had just moved to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, caught an alligator on camera working real hard to ring a doorbell at a brand new home. The 6.5-foot gator damaged the walkway, left some scratches also on the door. It was later safely removed and thankfully relocated.
6.5-foot gator at your door, ringing that doorbell. Man, if DoorDash or Skip the Dishes is really trying to expand on the people they're hiring or the animals they're hiring, I'd probably recommend staying away from the alligator because, you know, he's trying to do his job, no discrimination, but I just don't think it's gonna work out. It wasn't even a good joke, Jordan. Like, why do you try? Why do you try to say stupid stuff? So I'm going to Florida at the end of this month, and I fully expect this to happen to me, if not see this in the news, because I just have that optimism, you know? I just feel like I'm lucky enough to have a weird situation like this happen to me in Florida. Look, I'll never forget, there was one time I was in Florida and it started raining and a bunch of these like emus or ostriches just spawned in the street, literally. And it was the freakiest thing. Like, I don't want to get into details because it got weird. I got a big gulp from a gas station, but anyways, that's not important. Florida's a strange place, but you know, South Carolina got this nice little bit of news for a change. So let's go and let's move on to the next story. So this is a little bit of a freaky story I found. You know, for anyone out there that believes in yetis, that's right, ladies and gentlemen, Indian Army says it found yeti footprints in the Himalayas. Now, you know what, let's just take a look a little more into this because they got some photos. Let's see what they have to say here. The Indian Army says it has discovered footprints in the Himalayas that appears to belong to a yeti, known in the United States as Bigfoot or the Abominable Snowman. Measuring 32 inches by 15 inches, the footprints were found near Mount Makulu Base Camp April 9th. Wow. We've got a Twitter user, D_J Shakir with this little funny video of probably that I didn't even get a chance to click it. I hope it's funny. It looked funny. You can't kill a legend with anything as mundane as facts. I mean, true, a legend is a legend, you know. Facts don't really back up that, but I mean. You know, I've never really been one to believe in yetis and stuff because, like, you know, we live in a time now where there's technology and cameras everywhere. And not to say that there's a bunch of that in the Himalayas, but it's like you would think by now something would have been recorded. Like, to think that there's a very small, minuscule amount of yetis just chilling, I mean, like, that's so weird. That would be crazy. That'd be crazy to think of weird mythical creatures, their population cut down to like 50, not even. And they're just chilling, doing their thing, and we haven't even found them yet. I don't know, I find it hard to believe, but you know, at the same time, if they did find them, that'd be pretty cool. But you know what else is cooler? Hitting that like button and subscribing. All right, moving on to the next story we've got here. So who's a fan of Airbnb here? Have you ever gone to Airbnb? You know, you gone on vacation or gone on a little road trip and you just get you order an Airbnb. It's cheaper than a hotel usually. I'd argue with that sometimes, actually. But how about renting a giant potato in Iowa? Sorry, Idaho. I read that wrong. I'm sorry, America. I don't know your states. I don't know anything. A giant fake potato in Idaho has been turned into an Airbnb and you can rent it for $200 a night. Well, what I'm doing when I go to Idaho. We've all dreamed about living inside a potato with hash browns for cushions, fries as shelves, and a giant bowl of fluffy mash to snuggle into a night. I like where this is going. Incredibly, this dream could now become a reality. If spuds are your one true love, you're probably going to want to book a night in the Big Idaho Potato Hotel. Okay, well, you know what? The writer for this article clearly loved this opportunity. Oh, and they got a picture inside too. Oh, look at that. That's so weird. I would so do this though. I would 100% do this. Wait. And you thought that there wasn't gonna be a Florida story in this video? Well, I'm happy to report. Florida man arrested outside Olive Garden after eating pasta belligerently. How does this happen? A drunk Florida man was arrested outside Olive Garden after eating pasta in an inappropriate manner. According to the Miami Herald, officers with Naples Police Department were dispatched to the chain restaurant around 3:30 p.m. Sunday regarding a disturbance. A man was reportedly asking restaurant patrons for money and yelling at them using explicit language. Okay. When police arrived, they discovered a shirtless man sitting on a bench outside the establishment. The man was allegedly shoveling spaghetti into his mouth with his hands. Starting to sound a little bit like me. However, before being placed in handcuffs, officer gave Padgett a paper towel so he could wipe the pasta off his face. Well, you know what? At least they were courteous about it, okay? You can't disturb a man who is shoveling spaghetti in his mouth, you know? Like, if they're doing no harm at that point, it's like you might as well just let them finish, if anything. But I'm a little worried to go to Florida this month, but perhaps maybe I might be the next man arrested for eating pasta belligerently. Crazy times we live in, you never know. All right, so you've made it to the end of this video and I have the scariest story for you now, okay? This is gonna freak out a lot of you out there that are afraid of artificial intelligence and robots taking over the world, and I hate to report this to you in a video, but there's unnerving footage shown here from Boston's Dynamics showing robot dogs pulling a truck, and here's the footage. Man, look at that. It's weird that those things are not alive. They're just like metal, moving, electronic beings. Like, can you even call them beings? Like, they're just like, oh God, it's like, how have we gotten to this point in human society? Like, can you imagine that coming to your door, just knocking on the door, trying to deliver food, like that alligator that, you know what? No, DoorDash, skip the dishes. Don't you dare take that idea without talking to me first, okay? So it says here, the dog-leg robots from Boston Dynamics are back with another video, albeit this time this video is less focused on virtuality, more on the demonstration of raw power. Behold, 10 robot dogs pulling a large truck. Don't get too worried. These little guys aren't coming to pull your house away anytime soon. Oh, that's great. That's great for you. According to Boston Dynamics, the 10 Spot Mini robot dogs were able to pull the Boston truck 1 degree uphill truck in neutral. That's still quite a bit of pulling power. Okay, well, you know what? It doesn't matter what this says because this is just clearly a sign of the end times. Again, if it's not aliens, it's robots. Let's be honest, we're kind of put in a corner here, people. It's time to start thinking about our options. Start living life, you know? You better ask that person you want to ask out soon because I'm not feeling too great about the future. Well, everybody, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and of course, follow me on Instagram and Twitter and all that kind of stuff. Now, if you can excuse myself, I must go find more interesting stories for you guys. So, until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Editor, smoke effect!